Craig Gordon may be in to the Scottish Cup semi-finals, but he's also in the Scotland squad as Steve Clarke brings the 41-year-old back to the national team. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. The Scotland squad has been named for the upcoming friendly doubleheader against Netherlands and Northern Ireland ahead of the Euro 2024 competition. It was going to be interesting to see who Steve Clarke was going to pick for this squad, especially in the goalkeeping positions, because obviously Craig Gordon was going to be available for Scotland for the first time in a long time, and we didn't know whether or not he would come back into the team. Pretty much, I think his number one position has been taken by August Gunn, but considering his number one position has also been taken at Hearts by Sander Clarke, we didn't know that if there was going to be room, if there was going to be a position for Craig Gordon, but there turns out that there is, and there's also a spot for his Hearts teammate Sander Clarke, as Steve Clarke has picked both Hearts goalkeepers as part of a 4-goalkeeping lineup for Scotland. Yes, 4 goalkeepers. Was it necessary? Probably not. Lawrence Shankland also gets into the team. I think that was a no-brainer. The only question for me is Lawrence Shankland going to be starting during these friendlies?
Well, the only question for me is Stevie Clarke blind? Because how can you pick 4 goalkeepers and 3 forwards? You can't defend that, right? Even if you want to include Gordon in the squad, then just drop out Clarke or Kelly. You do not need more goalkeepers and strikers, man.
Yeah, there's a likelihood that you could play all 3 strikers in the one game. You ain't going to play all 4 goalkeepers in the one game.
I think what this says, though, is that he is going to change the goalies up. I'm not saying he's going to give them all a half each, right? But there's no way, like, Angus Gunn is going to start both games and see them both out. And if he does, then what was the point? Wasted exercise. For me, Gunn, Clarke and Kelly all playing for their club. Gordon only getting cup games. I think if there's one guy to start all the games, it has to be him.
Yeah.
If anyone. But I don't think Gordon should start them and play them all. I think it should be split between them.
Well, I would like to see Gordon play them all because, like you said, we haven't really got to see him much, so he's the one that's going to benefit. He's the unknown quantity right here, so for me, I would rather see Craig Gordon start the games, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's go into the squad, though. So the 2 games are in Holland against the Netherlands, then at Hampden Park against Northern Ireland. I would be expecting, I know there's no points up for grabs, but I'm hoping that we can at least get 4 points here.
Well,
4 imaginary points.
What I would say is, right, against Holland, it could go either way, right? We could turn up and beat them, or they could beat us. The second game, it's 3 points.
Alright, well, I'd say with the Holland game, I'm more interested in the performance.
Yes.
But we should be beating Northern Ireland at home. There's no reason that...
They're shite.
Yeah, there's no reason why that shouldn't happen. Anyway, let's look at Scotland squad. So we have Sander Clarke, Craig Gordon, Angus Gunn and Motherwell. Can you recall a time when 2 goalkeepers from the same club were getting called up to the Scotland squad? I wouldn't say it happens often. I mean, did it maybe happen with McGregor and McLaughlin?
I don't think it did.
No?
No. I believe by the time McLaughlin showed up at Rangers, McGregor was retired. So that's ruled that out. Actually, I think McCrory and McLaughlin might have both got called up.
You think so?
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't happen often, though.
No,
That's
it
definitely.
doesn't, absolutely
and if
doesn't.
it is going to happen, it's probably going to be with Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah.
It's very rare that a team outside Old Firm will have 2 goalkeepers that are national team quality.
Maybe at a point when Gordon and Bain were both at Celtic, maybe? No?
I mean, possibly, but again, my point is, outside of the Old Firm, I don't think this would happen very often.
No.
But that's the goalkeeping choices there. Clarke, Gordon, Gunn, Kelly. Let's move into the defenders. We have...
A lot.
A lot, yeah, there's quite a lot there.
It's a very defensive-minded team.
It is, but of course, I mean, when you've got the likes of Kieran Tierney and Patterson and players like that, I mean, they can get forward, they can be used as wing-backs and stuff, so, I mean, you've got Tierney as well, can play multiple positions. We do play 5 at the back that sometimes turns into a 3, so, I mean, it's a lot of defenders, but you can kind of see why he's picked so many.
Absolutely. I mean, the usual faces are in there. I just think with Cooper, and I mean, I actually think Hanley's been alright for Scotland recently, but see Liam Cooper, man, I think it's time for some fresh blood. I think him and Hanley, I think this should be their last tournament, and that's not to say they've been at about 10. I think it's time to bring new blood in. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. I think Cooper and Hanley are they're part of, for me, they're part of squads that couldn't qualify.
Yep. I don't think those two should be taking time away for Hendry, McKenna and Porteous and Suter.
No. Anyway, let's go through the team here. So we've got Cooper and Hanley, Jack Hendry. Does him playing in Saudi Arabia, does that affect his chances of playing for Scotland, do you think?
I mean, maybe, but at the end, see this whole gimmick though that the Saudi Arabian league's like so bad. I'm not going to pretend it's like the greatest league ever, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of good players that have went. Like, the quality of the league's probably up there with half-decent leagues in Europe.
Yep.
Considering the amount of star quality that's went. I mean, if this guy's coming up against Al Nassr, right, and he's having to defend against Ronaldo and Mane, that's going to be better than if he was playing for Celtic, for example, and defending against fucking Ross County. You can't just pretend the league's pish.
I agree. And I agree, 100%. Anyway, let's look at the team. What would you say is the starting? If we're going,
five?
If we're going with the 5, what would be your picks?
Robertson, Tierney, Porteous, and Hendry, and big Nathan Patterson.
I would agree with that. I mean, I could also see if you put McKenna in there over Hendry, or Suter in there over Hendry.
I think, right, you could probably put any combination of centre-backs in, apart from Liam Cooper, and I would be alright with it. I can accept Hanley being in there.
I don't really want to see Hanley in there, but I get what you're saying.
He's better than Cooper.
Fair enough.
Anyway, let's move into the position of the team that's undoubtedly the best in Europe. Even though you can argue left back is, but here.
We've got midfielders then. Stuart Armstrong again in there. Ryan Christie's in there. Lewis Ferguson. Fuck it. Not only does he have to be in there, I think he has to start. Billy Gilmore, John McGinn, Kenny McLean. How much longer is he going to be picked? And Scott McTominay from Manchester United.
It's mental though, right? Ryan Jack and Callum McGregor are both injured, and somehow he's not put in any extra midfielders. He's actually put in extra defenders and goalkeepers. Alright,
well, since you're going to bring that up, who would you recommend? Who would you like to have seen brought up?
Ryan Gold. The guy is not getting a fair chance. If he's doing it in the MLS, right, I don't
think this whole Ryan Gold thing has been something that everyone talks about for like 10... Give me a fresh name.
Hold on.
I'm sick of hearing about Ryan Gold.
What?
The guy wasted his career. That's on him.
Wasted his... Well, fucking give him a chance then. Well, hold on. Can you not name other midfielders that deserve to be in here?
I'm asking you.
Off the top of my head?
Aye.
I can give you fuck all, mate.
You know what I mean? So...
No, but there must be other people. Think. Try and think. Use your knowledge.
You're putting the pressure on me.
I left you on double one, mate. I left you in the madhouse.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think here. Graham Shinnie.
That's the best you can offer.
I like Graham Shinnie.
Graham fucking Shinnie.
I'm a fan of Graham Shinnie.
No, I'm saying like I'm sick of McLean and Armstrong being in this squad, right? But name me 2 players to replace them.
Barry Bannon. We're getting worse here, aren't we?
There's a reason why you don't pick the fucking team, man, because that's pish.
No, I mean, mate, could it just be a case of he's not picked extra midfielders because outside of what you see, we don't have that much more? I mean, is that no...
Despite it being, like, the greatest position known to man.
What about Josh Doig, by the way, wasn't picked?
I know, but there's too many defenders as there is.
But do you not think he's more... I mean, is he not more worthy of a place than, let's say, an Anthony Ralston or Liam Cooper?
What about, like, some of... but then I was going to mention that, like, Lennon Miller's Scottish, isn't he? He will be. What about, like, Connor Barron? But they're never going to get into this team, are they?
No.
But why not give them a chance,
Maybe the unders, but they're not going to get into this team.
No, but I would honestly rather bring those 2 into the squad than Armstrong and McLean, right? I'd rather... I know Leon King doesn't even get a game for Rangers, right? But I would rather give youth a chance over the likes of Cooper and McLean, right? That's the future. Bring them in.
Alan Forrest?
Honestly, I would rather try him over McLean. McLean scored that goal against Norway, right? I'll never take it away from him, but I'm sick of it.
You're sick of it?
I'm sick of it. And same for the forward areas, right? I think we could try something else. Which is, i.e., start Lawrence Shankland. And see if he starts Dykes or Adams, man, I'm going to flip my shit. Are you not?
Probably.
What about that guy that plays for Bristol City? Tommy Gunn? Or is that the guy that fought Rocky?
That was definitely a machine gun, Tommy Gunn.
But he's called something. He's called Tommy something, right?
Everyone's got a name.
He's got good stats.
On FIFA?
No, this season. He's got like 12 goals or something. And guarantee that's more than Lyndon Dykes.
Fair enough.
I just think Clarke is too conservative, which can be good in the political world, right? But not in the fucking football pitch. He needs to change it up.
Right. Well, I just think outside of that midfield, we don't have much.
Yes, right, we don't have much, but Armstrong and McLean aren't never going to get start, right? So for that reason, is it not time to try something fresh and bring in a few youngsters, yes or no?
Probably, aye.
Would you not rather see Ryan Gauld come off the bench than Kenny McLean? Unless it's against Norway.
I'm not really arsed about Ryan Gauld.
For fuck's sake, right then. What about your team, Hearts? Any players you'd like to see in here?
I think Alan Forrest is
Apart
good.
from Alan Forrest?
No, probably not, no.
No.
Anyway, forwards, we have Shea Adams, Lyndon Dykes, Lawrence Shankland.
Is there not a place for Scott Wright in this team?
Unfortunately not.
Thank you.
Lawrence Shankland, for me, has to start. I think he's a better player than Dykes and Adams. Like,
yeah. No, he is. He absolutely is.
Take away who he plays for or what league he plays in. If Lawrence Shankland can't get into the Scotland starting 11 now, then I don't think he ever will.
We've been calling out, right? The past couple of years, we've been like, we've got a great team, but we're lacking a goal scorer. Lawrence Shankland's the goal scorer. He might not be, right? I think it's...
Yeah, but you can't turn around and say, oh, he's on a good run of form now. Maybe that's what you could argue 2 years ago. Oh, he's on a wee decent run of form, but he's not done enough yet. He has consistently now for years proved that he's a goal-scoring machine. Therefore, he has to be ahead of Dykes and he has to be ahead of Adams.
I think Lawrence Shankland is pretty much a combination of Adams and Dykes. He's got the hold-up and, target man ability of Dykes, and he's got, the mobility. Maybe not so much pace as Adams, but I think he's pretty much those two combined. He's got to start, right? You can't be bringing him on for 5 minutes each game expecting the guy to make a fucking impact, even though he did against Georgia. Come on, Clarke, it's 2 friendlies, man. Risk it for a biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit. Anyway, guys, that is the Scotland squad there. I just hope that we see Shankland start. That's probably the main thing I want to see. Shankland coming on with a couple of minutes to go, it doesn't really give us anything, doesn't do anything for me. I want to see Shankland start from the beginning, see how impactful he can be in a game from the get-go. It's different if you bring on Shankland with 5 minutes to go and we're already a few goals up or we're chasing the game. You don't really get the same. You can't get the same knowledge from a player. You don't really get to see the same impact for a player than you do when he starts a game. So I want to see Lawrence Shankland start. I want to see how we in Lawrence Shankland can get incorporated into the play and the build-up. And I want to see, because people say that Scotland play better with Lyndon Dykes when he's up front rather than Shea Adams, and that's a reason why Dykes plays well. I think Lawrence Shankland does really well for Hearts in the build-up play. I think he's a crucial part of Hearts' play. He drops deep, he holds the ball up, so I see no reason why he can't do that for Scotland. So, yeah, I want to see Lawrence Shankland start a game, because I think there's a big difference between starting a game and coming on with 15 minutes to go when you might be winning or trailing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play style's not the same. I mean, soon you get to the dying minutes of the game, you ain't playing the way you would at the very beginning when it's 0-0. So, yeah, I'd like to see Shankland start for the beginning. We'll find out whether it happens or not. These friendlies are happening, I believe, on the 22nd and 26th. So, yeah, mark it in your calendar. We'll be here for them. Scottish football takes a break, but the international football's on. So, yeah, it never quite finishes here. There's always something going on in the world of Scottish football. We'll catch you for it, guys. But until next time, peace.